Okay, let's set the scene. Imagine a dusty desert encampment called Al-Hudaibiyyah. It's the year 6 AH, and the air is just thick with tension. It's right here, in this moment of extreme uncertainty, that one of the most profound events in Islamic history is about to unfold. We're talking about a pledge made under a tree that would literally change everything.
So you can feel it, right? The atmosphere was incredibly volatile. The Muslims, they'd traveled for pilgrimage, not for war, but their path to Mecca was completely blocked. The sources are clear. The polytheists were hostile, and any kind of peaceful resolution seemed totally impossible. I mean, the stakes just could not have been higher.
And get this, there were only 1,400 of them. That's it. They were so far from the safety of their homes in Medina, deeply outnumbered, and pretty much surrounded by potential enemies. This was a real test of faith, where every single decision was a matter of life and death. Now, you know how a single piece of news can just ignite a crisis? Well, into this already incredibly tense situation, a devastating rumor arrives from Mecca, and it's about the Prophet's own envoy, Uthmaan ibn Affan. The word on the ground was that Uthmaan had been killed by the Quraysh. Just try to imagine hearing that. Your diplomat, your friend, has been murdered. Now, this is a clear act of war. But in the face of this, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, didn't call for chaos or immediate revenge. No. He called for an emergency meeting, gathering his companions with this really calm sense of purpose. And this is where the story completely pivots. Right there, under the shade of a large acacia tree, something incredible happens. This isn't just a meeting, you guys. This is the moment where 1,400 individuals become a single, unbreakable force through a powerful, unified commitment. They made what's known as a bay'ah, a pledge, and the terms were absolute. They swore an oath to their leader to fight until the very end, to stand their ground and not run, no matter what the cost. This was a promise to face potential annihilation together. It was a show of their complete resolve, even when they were staring down what looked like certain defeat. You know, this event was so significant, so deeply sincere, that it earned its own special name, the Pledge of Ar-Ridwaan. And Ar-Ridwaan means the pleasure. Why? Because as this verse tells us, God himself was pleased with them, with their unwavering loyalty and the sincerity that was in their hearts at that exact moment. This really illustrates the spiritual depth of what was happening. I mean, they weren't just shaking the hand of a man. They were making a covenant directly with God. The prophet was the ambassador, sure, but the allegiance was to Allah. The verse says, the hand of Allah is over their hands, which signifies this divine seal on their promise. It's just a profound concept to think about. But, you know, there's this really poignant detail to the story. What about the man whose rumored death started this whole thing? What about Uthmaan? Of course he couldn't be. He was still in Mecca, and nobody knew what had happened to him. So the very person they were pledging to avenge couldn't actually make the pledge himself. So does that mean he was left out of this incredible honor? No way. Absolutely not. In this amazing act of leadership and loyalty, the Prophet Muhammad took his own right hand and placed it on his other hand, declaring that this pledge was being made on behalf of his absent companion. He made sure Uthman was included, cementing his high status and showing the world the profound bond he shared with his followers. Now, out of 1,400 people who stood together in that historic moment, there was one person, just one, who made a different choice. And his story, well, it serves as a stark contrast and a really powerful lesson about what can happen when our priorities get all mixed up. His name was Al-Jad ibn Qais. So while everyone else was gathered for this divine appointment, this history-making pledge, he was nowhere to be seen. But why? I mean, what on earth could possibly be more important? He was looking for his lost red camel. It's hard to believe, right? The source material actually says he told people something along the lines of, "Finding my camel is more important to me than your companion asking forgiveness for me." Just think about that for a second. While the believers were securing divine pleasure and forgiveness, he was consumed by a worldly possession. It's the ultimate contrast, a pledge for eternity versus a search for a temporary belonging. So what was the immediate result for those who made the pledge? Well, the rewards weren't just promised for the afterlife, they started coming down right then and there, under that tree. Okay, so first, God sent down a sakina, this profound sense of peace and tranquility that just settled their hearts in the middle of all that danger. Then, he promised them a near victory, which would turn out to be the conquest of Khaybar. and that would be followed by abundant spoils. And, most importantly, he granted them forgiveness and honor.
The Prophet himself confirmed their status. He turned to the companions who had just made that pledge, and he declared, "You are the best of Earth's people." And this wasn't just praise, it was a testament to their rank in the sight of God, all because of their unwavering faith in a moment of crisis.
And the ultimate reward? The Prophet stated that no one who made the pledge under the tree would enter the hellfire. That was it, a divine guarantee for their sincerity and their sacrifice. Their single act of loyalty literally secured their salvation.
And that brings us to the crucial takeaway from this entire event. See, the story of the Pledge of Ridwaan isn't just history. It's a timeless lesson in priorities. And it forces us to ask ourselves a really tough question. In those moments when a higher calling demands our attention and our commitment, what is the red camel in our own lives? Is it our career, our possessions, our social status? What's the thing that might distract us and cause us to miss out on something truly magnificent?